everybody, this is Chad the Gaming Dad, back with you once again. We're talking today about two things. Two topics that have come up. I don't know, I haven't had a video in a little while, and the ones that I have had recently have been mostly, reviews on things that I got codes for or whatever, so that was cool, and glad that they sent those. I don't know, been kind of in a rut. Just sitting here trying to think of what would I want to do? What would I want to do with the channel? What do I want to do with any of this stuff? Gaming. It's come into my mind a bunch of times recently as far as what am I doing? So yeah, I'm not really thinking about quitting or anything if that's what you are thinking I'm about to say or anything. I'm not. Still going to go ahead and do videos as I feel like doing them. And as far as playing games and stuff, I doubt that I will ever stop playing video games and being into them. So that brings me to topic number one of the two things that I wanted to discuss today. Now, I was thinking back, and I was thinking about how all the way back to when I was a little kid, when I first got my Intellivision. It was the first thing that I ever got for me. I mean, I'd played Atari before and things like that with my cousins and stuff, but I didn't have one. But I did get an Intellivision at one point. Ever since that day. Now, the Intellivision was made in 1979, 1980, I think is when I got mine. So, okay, I would have been, in 1980, I would have been all of 6 years old, right? Little Chad the Tiny Gaming dude, right? Not a dad, far, far from it, obviously. 6 years old. Didn't have that kind of swagger. But anyways, going all the way back, I'm just about a week away from turning quite a bit more than 6 years old. And in my mind, I'm sitting here going, man, my entire life, basically, I've been interested in this stuff and focused on it, collecting things here and there, playing lots of things. What would happen, or what would have happened to me in my life and to you in your life, if you're watching this, obviously, what would have happened to you and me if there was no such things as video games? What if they never existed in the first place? That's a weird thing to think of, because as you can see behind me, I've got some instruments, guitars and things like that, and a keyboard and all that. I'm into music. I have a lot of things that I've collected in this very room also. It's not just games, it's a lot of music type stuff too. Maybe I would have just focused on that only. I don't know. I like sports, baseball, things like that. Maybe I would have focused only on that. I did some of that stuff, obviously, but I never went as far as I maybe could have or would have otherwise, because I also was into video games and as well as many other things. I call myself like the man of 1,000 hobbies. So There's been lots of people that have all these different monikers, like in wrestling, guys, the man of 1,000 holds, and Jericho's 1,000 holds, and he's going through armbar over and over again. I don't know if you guys watched that, but it's funny back in the day. But yeah, I'm the man of 1,000 hobbies. I've done a bunch of different stuff, and I continue to always want to try new things and do other things. But the one main constant, aside from music and movies and stuff like that, it's always been entertainment. And video games has been a huge part of that along the way, all the way since I was a little kid. So that's the first thing that I was going to talk about. Like I said, I couldn't really think about anything else to cover on a video, but I felt like making one. So there's the first topic, is what do you think? Let me know in the comments. What do you think? What would have been like had you not played any games? If there was no games, or you didn't like games, or you just never played them. It just wasn't a thing. What the heck would you do all day? When you have a day off and you like to sit around and play your favorite games, things like that, what the heck would you do? I don't know. Very strange thought to... I don't have the answer. I'm asking a question that I don't have an answer to. Usually on these videos, I'll say something, make a statement, and then give you my thoughts on it, whether or not I have an idea or a clue on anything. I got no clue. I got nothing on this one. All I got is the question at hand, just something to ponder, I guess. Thinking about what it would be like if there were no games. However, there are games. There are quite a few games. But here brings me to topic number two. And number two is that maybe I'm just getting old, or maybe things are changing and the political correctness and all this other stuff that's involved with everyday life anymore has made it such that things just aren't the same. We all know that. Things can't remain the same. Things change all the time. But I'm looking at new games. A lot of the new games that are coming out, I'm finding myself less and less interested in. And so what I've been thinking about, in addition to what would I do if I didn't play games, I guess the reason why I was thinking that is because I'm not really into a lot of the new stuff that's coming out. And so I started thinking, well, what will I do once the new stuff that comes out I'm not interested in anymore, right? I guess that's how that thought popped in my head. Going back to self-analysis 101 here, I guess. I don't know, it's a weird video. Just felt like talking about something. So that's what I've been thinking about. So topic number 2 being that most of these newer games I'm not really all that into. What I have been doing is, like many people, I have a pretty sizable backlog of games that I would like to go back and finish, or even just start. Some of these games I've played an hour or 2 before I jumped into something else. So just wanted to talk about a couple things that I have been playing recently and see what you guys think. What would you do? So I'm going back all the way back to PlayStation, the original PlayStation. I can remember when I bought an original PlayStation. It was like the first thing that I really spent any significant money on after college. That was like one of my things. I was sitting there by myself and I'm like, yes, I'm going to go get one. I'm getting a PlayStation. So that was one of my main things that I played for a long time. So got one of these. The PlayStation Mini has come out, and I didn't want to pay $100 for 20 games, and not all of the games that were on there were things that I really cared about. But along comes this modding community and I'm using a thing called AutoBleem. And AutoBleem will let you take one of these little tiny USB sticks, and you can put a whole bunch of stuff. This one is a 64 gigabytes. I remember back when my computer had like a 200 and 300 megabyte hard drive and we were getting excited. Anyway, I've been playing tons of these old games on this PlayStation Mini, and this is a wonderful way to play a lot of the old games. You gotta go online and you gotta get the ROMs for them and everything, and not gonna discuss how to get that or what. You can figure that out on your own and the rules and regulations of that. But I got a bunch of stuff on here that I also have the actual physical copies of, but man, this is way more reliable than a disc at this point, and an old PlayStation that you usually have to turn upside down to make it even work. This just works really well, hooks up with the HDMI, and then you also need to get one of these. Now, everybody talks about the 8-bit DO, 8-bit BITDO. This one I found at a different store. It's kind of the same thing. On the back here, it's the Magic, what's this thing? The Magic something for Switch. This one actually, they market this for the Switch, but it can do not only the Switch, but it can do PlayStation things, it can do Xbox, it can do a lot of different things. If you look close on the back, I don't know if you're going to be able to see, but see all those little dots? It probably won't focus for you to be able to see that, but each dot corresponds to a different type of system that you plug it into. And there's a little button on the side. You might be able to see that. Yeah, little button on the side that you press to switch between them. And you did have to take a firmware update to make this work. So if you do decide to get one of these, what the heck is this thing? It says Magic NS, MAGIC-NS for Switch. Just like the 8-bit DO that they're talking about. And you plug this, put all your games on that one with the mod emulator thing, stick that in there like that. It looks ridiculous because it's so big. It's just like a big stupid thing hanging out there. But then you can use PS3 controllers, you can use Switch controllers, you can use whatever controllers you want. It kind of adds an analog stick to games that you would want them for. It does not do dual analogs. It just basically turns the D-pad, analog D-pad, same thing, so you can at least have a little bit of an analog. So that's really cool. I've been playing that, And that got me thinking again to these backlogged games, these games that, you know, I don't really have to like the new stuff that's coming out because I've got so much old stuff to play that's really, really good and really high quality. Plus, if there's old stuff that you didn't buy yet, you can get it super cheap. Here's a couple things that, this is what I want your opinion on. These are a couple that I came up with that I would like to maybe go through, but I'd love to hear yours as well. Maybe even give me some ideas for things. But these are two games that I really like that I never spent nearly enough time playing. Not as much time as I should have. We're talking about Alien Isolation. This one right here, I love the Alien franchise. The whole thing is so good. And this is probably one of, if not the best Alien game. So suspenseful, it's so scary and everything. I think I've played the first 5 to 10 hours of this thing at least 3 or 4 times. I just always restart it because I put it down and then I don't go back to it quick enough to get going on it again.
I'm going to catch you.
And another one that's a huge game, something that I've loved ever since the original PlayStation, we got Metal Gear Solid.
We need more medicinal plants. Thank you, boss.
Check it out. I even got the Day 1 edition. I've had this thing forever, and I still haven't played more than, I don't know, 10, 12 hours of it. I need to get into those. I envy those guys that you see online in videos and places where they know a game inside and out. Every ounce of that game they know. And I wish that I could just focus on one thing, dive in and really just digest the entire game and really know it inside and out. Really complete a game. Not just see the ending and get to the end, but I'm talking about going through and seeing everything that these games have to offer. These will take forever. This one I have all the DLC for it and everything, so that'll take a ton of time. This one takes even longer. And then, as you can see, I've got my Kazuma Kiryu shirt on from Yakuza. They just dropped the Yakuza collection, so now you buy that, you can get Yakuza 3, 4, and 5 on your PS4. Talk about some games that you can play for a ton of time. I have seen the ending on a few Yakuza games, but again, I want to go back and just slow down, focus, and play the crap out of something and just really digest it, especially since I'm not really as drawn to the new stuff like I used to be. Well, I'm not always looking for the new thing. Maybe I should just settle down and play some of this old stuff. So anyway, that's some of the things I was thinking recently. It's a totally weird video and all that, but thought I'd just get on and say hi and see what you guys think. What do you guys think would have happened if you had no games in your life? And also, what games do you think I should, or everyone should, dive into and just immerse themselves completely in and get every ounce of the game out of? I'm really going to try to stick to this and play through at least Alien Isolation. I know this one, Phantom Pain, takes forever to get through all that. I doubt I'll make it through all that, but I would love to do Alien. But I did grab the Yakuza 3. I'm already playing that again on PS4. So, I don't know. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Hopefully you liked the video and all that. And that's it for today. So, good talking to you, and we'll see you on the next one. Until then, remember, you never outgrow video games. My name's Chad the Gaming Dad, and we'll see you on the next one. So long, everybody. Hey, thanks everybody for sticking with me and watching the entire video. I hope you liked it. The best way to help out the channel is to leave a like, leave a comment, and tell your friends. If you'd like to support the channel further, there are links in the description. But otherwise, always remember that you never outgrow video games. My name's Chad the Gaming Dad, and we'll see you on the next one. So long, everybody.